Okay, g'day everyone. Welcome to another edition of How to Become a Mathemagician. So if you find maths difficult, or you struggle, or you find maths very stressful, and more importantly, if you struggle to figure out ways to show working out of all sorts of different problems, then this is definitely the channel for you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button straight away. Because here at How to Become a Mathemagician, we go through a whole range of different maths problems, and we explain what they are and show all steps of working out. Okay, so you're really going to be helped out by being a subscriber of this channel. Okay, so today's lesson, we're going to be talking about equivalent fractions. All right, so equivalent fractions, what are they? Okay, they are fractions that are equal to each other. They're just expressed in with different numerators and denominators, but overall they keep the same ratio and size as each other. Okay, they can be expanded or simplified, but they always stay equal and equivalent to each other the whole time. All right, so there's a fair bit of words in that, so let's just have a look and see and explain what that really means. Okay, so here's a diagram of a couple of circles. All right, these are the same size, these circles. All right, the one on the left here, we've got shaded in 1/2. Okay, and the one on the right, we have 2/4. Okay, so we still effectively have 1/2 of the circle shaded in here, but it's just represented as 1/4 here and another quarter here, which gives us 2/4. Okay, so you can visually see that 2/4 is an equivalent fraction of 1/2. Okay, it's the same size as 1/2. It's just expressed as a different ratio of 1/2. It calls it 2/4 instead of 1/2. But they're identical. They're the same size. Okay, so a lot of the time though, when you get given these sorts of questions, or the question might say find an equivalent fraction of 1/2, or whatever fraction that they give you, you won't always have the visual representation to help you out. So what we'll go through now is how to mathematically work out what you can see here. All right, so there is a mathematical way, and we've just got this little bit of a formula box here down the bottom right here. All right, so what we do, so very important, the most important rule of equivalent fractions is to know what we do to the top of the fraction. Okay, this is the top here, the numerator it's called. We must do the same to the denominator, or the bottom of the fraction. This is our denominator, 2. All right. So what that means is, in this occasion, we have 1 multiplied by 2, which gave us our new numerator of 2, like we had up here. All right, this one here. And also, following this rule, we have to do the same to the denominator. So we have our 2 also multiplied by 2, okay, because that's what we did up here. We multiplied by 2, and that gives us our new denominator of 4. All right, so this is actually how we work out equivalent fractions. All right, we multiply, in this occasion, in this case, we've multiplied the numerator and the denominator by 2, and it gave us an equivalent fraction of 2/4. All right, pretty straightforward. So let's have a look at another example. All right, what we have here. So sticking with our half, okay, it's a pretty easy visual representation one to do. This time we have, this is probably more like a pizza example, where we have our same circle, it's the same size, all right, and we've cut it all up into 8ths. All right, so there's 8 pieces to this circle now, and we've shaded in 1, 2, 3, 4 8ths. Okay, but as you can visually see, 4 8ths is exactly the same size as 1/2. It is still 1/2 of this circle. It's just represented with a different numerator and a different denominator, but it's the same size and the same ratio. All right, so 4/8, as you can see visually here, is an equivalent fraction of 1/2. Okay, so then we'll go through the steps of how to mathematically work that out. Okay, in case you didn't have the visual representation of whatever fraction you are starting with. Okay, so once again, what we've done here, so we have our numerator, so 1, we multiplied that by 4, okay, which gave us 4 as our new numerator. And following the rule, what we do to the top of the fraction, we must do the same to the bottom. So we have 2 times 4, and that gives us 8. All right, so fairly straightforward, but that's just simply how we work out equivalent fractions. Okay, so 4/8 is an equivalent fraction to 1/2 here. Okay, so moving right along, so this always keeps the fraction equal or equivalent by whatever you do to the top, you multiply by a certain factor, you do the same to the bottom, multiply by the same factor, and your initial fraction will remain equal or equivalent to itself. Okay, so let's find a few more examples. So just to reinforce that a bit more, all right, still using the example of a half. Okay, so this time we're multiplying by a factor of 3 to the top and the bottom. All right, so when we do that, we have 1 times 3 is our new numerator, and 2 times 3 is 6. That's our new denominator. Okay, so quite simply, we've just worked out that 3/6, or 3/6, is equivalent to or equal to 1/2. All right, another example here, we multiply the top and bottom by 5. Okay, so when we do that, we have 1 times 5 gives us 5. That's our new numerator. And 2 times 5 is 10. That's our new denominator. Okay, so we've just worked out that 5/10 is also an equivalent fraction of 1/2. Okay, and over here, once again, we've multiplied top and bottom by 6. So there's quite, as you can see, there's quite a few different equivalent fractions you could come up with for any fraction that you start with, depending on what you multiply the top or the bottom by. Okay, so in this example, it's 6. So 1 times 6, we get 6 as our new numerator, and with the denominator, we have 2 times 6, which is 12. Okay, so once again, so here 6/12 is also equivalent or equal to 1/2. All right, so hopefully that makes sense for you guys and keeps it pretty simple, and will help you guys to work out what an equivalent fraction might be for the fraction that you're given with at the start. Okay, so if we use that knowledge now, okay, of how we actually convert and create equivalent fractions, okay, just simply by multiplying the numerators and denominators by the same number or the same factor, then if we take that one step further and we have a look at this problem here, okay, and just simply following our rules. All right, so this might be a question you might have, a maths question you might have to solve at school, or for a homework, or for an assignment. Okay, so let's have a look. Our starting fraction here we have is 7/10, or 7/10. All right, but this time, instead of just finding an equivalent fraction, it's already given us half of the equivalent fraction of 21. We know our numerator, but we don't know what our new denominator is. Okay, so if we follow the same pattern, all right, so we have to multiply 7 times a certain number to give us 21. Now, you can probably see over here what the answer is, and also if you know what your 7 times table is, you probably know just off the top of your head what this magic number in here needs to be. But just in case, we'll just go through the process to work it out. In case you have more difficult fractions, it's important to know how to work out, how to follow the process to work out an equivalent fraction or any part of an equivalent fraction, no matter what you're starting with. Okay, so over here we have a look. So if we go this way, we do 7 times blank to give us 21. We can actually go back the other way and go 21 divided by a number will give us 7. That's also a way in this problem where we can try and work out our magic number here. All right, so I've just popped that over in the box here. 21 divided by something gives 7. All right. Or we can actually rearrange this, because if these numbers were a fair bit more complex than a simple 7 times table example, then you may not know just off the top of your head what this number is. So if you just rearrange it to this format and we go 21 divided by 7 will give us our answer. Not our final answer here, but it will give us our factor, which we need. So when we go ahead and work that out, 21 divided by 7 is 3. All right. And if you rearrange it how we had it up here, 21 divided by 3 is 7. Okay, so now we know what our magic number is here to be in the box. So what we're doing is multiplying our fraction here, 7/10, multiply the top and bottom by 3. So if we go ahead and do that, then this is what we get. So as this was already given to us, but we go through the process. 7 times 3 gives 21. Okay, and then so because we've multiplied the numerator by 3, we have to multiply the denominator also by 3. And when we do that, 10 times 3 gives 30. Okay, so that is the answer there to this particular problem. Okay, excellent. All right, so hopefully that all makes sense. And we might end the lesson there today about equivalent fractions. All right, so hopefully that helps you guys out. If you found this helpful and you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Also, as we said at the start, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We're going to be giving heaps of information on how to work out all sorts of different problems and how to improve your ability on understanding and working out maths and how to become a mathemagician. All right. Thanks very much.